Hi, I'm Dr. Ryan Shelton, and I'd like you to do something for me. I'd like you to sit back in your chair, close your eyes, and imagine a life 100% free from type 2 diabetes. Imagine waking up in the morning and no longer having to think about dealing with this debilitating disease. Imagine a life with no more needles, finger pricks, or test strips. Imagine not having to purchase any more medication or suffer from the inevitable side effects that you're probably experiencing right now because of these drugs. Imagine living a life where you can eat your favorite foods without having to worry about piling on the pounds, or worse, going into a diabetic shock or even a coma. Imagine feeling as energetic and alive as you did in your teens and 20s before this devastating condition began to blight every aspect of your life. Imagine a life free from fear, where you no longer needed to worry about the very real possibility of losing a limb, going blind, or succumbing to nerve damage, kidney failure, heart disease, stroke, or any of the other terrible and life-threatening conditions associated with diabetes. Do you even remember those days when you lived without fear and worry? When you were healthy and slim, full of life, when you could do whatever you wanted and eat whatever you wanted without the constant shadow of diabetes hanging over you? Those memories probably seem like a long time ago, right? After all, if you're anything like my patients, probably you think that those days are long gone and that this is your life now, that you'll never be free from diabetes. But that's not the way it has to be. You see, I'm about to give you a second chance. The chance you've been desperate for so long now. The chance that deep down you knew was right around the corner. The chance to start living your life again, 100% free from diabetes. In fact, over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you just how, from 60 seconds a day, you can turn back the clock, effectively reset your body's ability to regulate your blood sugar, kickstart your pancreas, and completely reverse your type 2 diabetes in as little as 50 short days, allowing you to live a life once again full, free from pain, inconvenience, worry, and fear. No matter if you're 60, 80, or 100, no matter your weight, no matter the extent of your diabetes, or even if your doctor has said your condition is irreversible and hopeless. In fact, by following the proven system I'm about to reveal to you on this very segment, you can achieve all of this without the frustration of yet another diabetic diet plan, without starving yourself, without changing your diet at all. Now, you may be sitting there feeling a little skeptical right now, and I completely understand. After all, for years, you've been led to believe that your diabetes cannot be reversed, and that the only option you have to manage it is with drugs, which can often leave you battling some pretty unpleasant side effects. But the truth is, type 2 diabetes can be reversed. Better still, you can do it in as little as 50 days, from the comfort of your own home, without having to spend a penny, and with just a commitment of 60 seconds a day. Yes, that's right, from just 60 seconds per day. And if you're thinking, yeah, right, that all sounds a little too good to be true, I urge you, just keep an open mind for a few more minutes. Because this completely natural treatment method, which has been developed by myself and my team of medical researchers, has already been clinically proven in countless peer-reviewed medical journals and studies such as those from the esteemed Heriot-Watt University and the University of Windsor to dramatically lower blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, boost weight loss, reduce blood pressure, and dramatically improve overall health. And if you just stick with me for just a little while longer, I'm going to show you the undeniable medical research that supports these claims. And I'll also reveal exactly what you need to do to start putting this treatment into practice yourself right now, so you can start the process of reversing your type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. And in the next few minutes, we can transform your health and well-being in the process. But there's an important question that you might be asking yourself right now. And that is, how can I possibly know that this treatment method will work for you personally when I've never met you? I don't know what your current blood sugar readings are. I don't know anything about your family history, your weight, or what medications you're on. Well, it's a good question. But the truth is, none of that matters. Firstly, because this isn't a drug concocted in a laboratory. It's 100% safe and 100% natural. And secondly, because the treatment I'm about to reveal is 100% effective, it has already slashed blood sugar readings and transformed the health of 100% of my patients. In fact, not just my patients, but thousands of patients around the world who have already been able to completely reverse their type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetic symptoms simply by following this system. And because of our spectacular success, we've received thousands and thousands of emails, letters, and phone calls from ecstatic men, women, and even children who are desperate to thank us and tell us about their personal story of how this treatment has changed their lives. In fact, let me quickly share just one of those emails with you now. This is one from Belinda from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and here's what she had to say about this pioneering new treatment method.
Hi to all at the Diabetes 60 System. Thank you for sharing your program with me. I've had diabetes for more than a decade, and I'd accepted long ago that it would be with me for life and that all I could do was manage it as best I could with medication. Up until my last doctor's visit a few months ago, I weighed 224 pounds, and my blood sugar readings were consistently in the low 200s. In a few short weeks, I've lost close to 19 pounds and brought my blood sugar all the way down to around 120. Last week, I visited my doctor again, and he was visibly stunned at the speed at which my type 2 diabetes is regressing and is already recommending your system to all of his patients. Thank you again, Belinda.
We have many more exciting emails and letters just like that, and I'll be showing you some even more incredible results later on in this presentation. But before I do that, I think it's important that I reveal exactly who I am and why we developed this pioneering treatment program in the first place. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Dr. Shelton. I've been a practicing doctor for 12 years, and during that time, I've witnessed the devastating impact that this horrible disease has had on my patients and their families. I've seen young men and women suddenly struck down by blindness. I've watched as surgeons have cut through the bones of my patients, removing toes and feet and legs. I've seen other patients suffering agonizing neuropathic pain and come into my office begging me for the strongest pain relief I can find. I've seen loving mothers, fathers, and grandparents barely be able to speak or function due to a stroke, and I've seen even more leave this earth 20 or 30 years too soon due to kidney or heart failure, shattering the lives of their families in the process. And to be totally honest, I've had enough. As a practicing physician for 12 years, I've seen with my own eyes the disturbing and rapid increase in the amount of men, women, and children being diagnosed with diabetes. Right now, we're in the middle of a diabetes epidemic, and it's quickly spiraling out of control. According to the International Diabetes Federation, there are currently more than 371 million people in the world suffering from this disease. This number is expected to reach 552 million by 2030. Diabetes is already the leading cause of kidney failure, limb amputations, and new cases of blindness among adults in the US. And diabetes is increasing at such an alarming rate that a person dies every 7 seconds. Incredible. Just think about that for a moment. In the time it's taken for me to tell you that, another life has just been snuffed out far too early because of this terrible disease. But for those whose lives haven't been prematurely cut short by diabetes, there's another cost too. And I'm talking about your finances. The American Diabetes Association recently reported that people with diabetes and diagnosed with diabetes incur an average medical expenditure of about $13,700 per year. The report also states that a type 2 diabetic will spend 2.3 times more money on their annual medical bills than people without diabetes. So just imagine how many tens of thousands of dollars you'll be spending over the next few years to control your diabetes. Actually, I'll tell you how much it is. According to a recent study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, a person with type 2 diabetes will be expected to spend an average of $85,500 to manage the disease and its complications over the course of a lifetime. Because here's something you need to know. Today's diabetes medications are not capable of making you better. They can't. Call your own physician and ask the very same question. He or she will give you the same answer. Instead, they're merely able to manage your condition and to control your symptoms as best they can, rather than actually treat and correct the root cause of the problem. So you'll never be free from the debilitating symptoms of diabetes, and you'll never be free from the financial burden either. And that in itself is the biggest problem when it comes to today's treatment methods for diabetes. You see, instead of trying to figure out why you developed this condition in the first place, the first step for many doctors today is to prescribe pharmaceutical drugs, which unfortunately has the effect of locking people into a state of drug dependency. Now, I'm not criticizing these doctors. They're good people or trying to help, but unfortunately they work within a system that now appears to put profits above patient care. And I'm not going to launch into some big conspiracy theory about big pharma here and how their drugs are designed to keep you sick and get them richer and richer. And I'm certainly not advising you to stop the medications that you're currently on, because the truth is, medication does have an important place in the treatment of diabetes. But what I'm saying is that you will never be free from diabetes if you continue just doing what you're doing. And this means that if you haven't already, it's inevitable that you will eventually succumb to any number of crippling and life-threatening diabetes-related health conditions over the coming years. Hypertension, heart disease, stroke, nerve damage, kidney failure, blindness, hearing loss, lower limb amputation. 1, 2, 3, or all of these devastating conditions will eventually strike you down and cut your life short by many years, if not decades. And if that's not enough to worry about, you've also seen how many thousands of dollars a year you'll be forced to spend on medication that does nothing more than slow the rate at which your health is declining, potentially leaving you penniless and in desperate need of emergency medical care within the next few years. Now, I'm sorry if all of this sounds depressingly morbid, but it's important that you understand where you're headed if you continue down the same road. I've seen this happen over and over again with patients and of close friends of mine. I've seen just how quickly diabetes takes hold and wrecks people's lives. And I've seen for myself, over the last 12 years and continuing, that medication is not the answer to reversing diabetes. It's merely paper over the cracks designed to cover up the symptoms. And as a doctor who swore an oath to help people and improve their health and protect them from disease and illness, I just couldn't sit back any longer and do nothing. In recent years, my dedicated team and I have committed months of time and tens of thousands of dollars of research funds to find a way to beat this disease once and for all. A real alternative to expensive, side effect-ridden medication and today's obsession with diabetes management rather than the actual treatment of diabetes. Because whatever your doctor may have told you in the past, type 2 diabetes doesn't need to be a death sentence. You don't have to be stuck with it for life. The truth of the matter is that type 2 diabetes is 100% reversible. And when we were determined to find a natural way to do it, a treatment that wouldn't simply control the symptoms, but would actually reverse the condition at the source, we did it. So how did we do it? Well, as a doctor, I'd always known that exercise was a critical part of diabetic treatment process, and I'd always recommended to my patients to try to get more exercise. And I'd seen how many of my patients who had exercised even a small amount saw dramatic and almost instant improvements in their blood sugar levels, their lipid levels, blood pressure, cardiovascular health, and overall quality of life. And here's the reason. When you exercise, your muscles become even more sensitive to insulin and absorb more glucose from the blood, which in turn lowers your blood sugar levels more. Added to that, exercise also helps lower blood pressure, which is obviously huge for your overall health because high blood pressure can contribute to heart attacks, strokes, eye problems, kidney failure, and many other type 2 complications. But the problem I'd always found is that modern day society doesn't leave time to exercise. For many, even mentioning exercise would come across as an immediate turnoff. And I completely understood. Stressful, time-consuming jobs and family responsibilities meant that the majority of my patients were simply too busy to hit the gym and work out for grueling hours every day. But then my team and I discovered something very intriguing. We discovered that there was one very short and very simple form of exercise, more a body movement, that solved this problem completely. In fact, after we started looking into the benefits of these particular movements on diabetic symptoms, we came across a study buried in a European Journal of Applied Physiology, which set on us a path to creating what now tens of thousands of others, and I believe, is the ultimate treatment for effectively reversing both type 2 diabetes and prediabetes quickly, safely, and naturally. And it's based on something called high-intensity interval training, or HIIT for short. Don't let the high-intensity part pull you off, and I'll explain more in just a moment. Maybe you've heard of HIIT before, but if not, let me briefly explain. Using this method, you can do simple movements for just a few minutes a day from the comfort of your own home and without spending a single cent, and you can still experience dramatic improvements in glucose levels, insulin sensitivity, weight loss, blood pressure, and overall health. All the benefits from exercise without the time or prolonged effort required. We quickly discovered that this was a proven and effective way to activate your own body's internal diabetes destroyer. And here's the proof. A study published in the Journal of Diabetes Research found that when HIIT, compared to moderate intensity and tedious time-consuming exercise, produced far better reductions in blood sugar. And in another published study in the Journal of Diabetes, Metabolic Syndrome and Obesity, a single HIIT session improved post-eating blood glucose for 24 hours, while a simple 2-week program reduced the average blood glucose reading by 13%. And incredibly, the patient's blood glucose stayed low for a whole 3 days after the exercise. That's 3 whole days of your body's built-in diabetes reversing system finally working for you, not against you, after just one single session of these simple movements. All of this research was hidden within plain sight, just waiting to be discovered and acted upon. But the more we looked into HIIT, the more we became convinced that this was actually the key to reversing type 2 diabetes and prediabetes, and ending America's dangerous and counterproductive obsession with diabetes drugs once and for all. So how does it work? Well, simply put, HIIT recruits more muscle fibers than other forms of exercise, thereby rapidly depleting glycogen levels and consequently promoting a greater increase in post-exercise muscle insulin sensitivity. Plus, performing HIIT over a longer period of time, such as just a few weeks, has been proven to reduce body fat better than any type of exercise, which is absolutely crucial when it comes to reducing the effects and the risks of type 2 diabetes. But before I reveal any more about this treatment method, let me just put your mind at rest for a moment. Because if what you're worried about is that this sounds like it's hard and it's hard work, don't be. That's because when it comes to HIIT, less is more. According to the study I mentioned earlier, which was published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology, type 2 diabetes patients who took part in just 10 60-second movements over a period of 2 weeks experienced rapid improvements in glucose control. Yes, I said from just 60 seconds a day, I meant it. But that's not all. We then found another study carried out at the Faculty of the Human Kinetics at the University of Windsor in Ontario, Canada, which showed that even less time was needed, concluding that just 4 30-second intervals with 4-minute rest periods caused blood sugar levels to be reduced immediately after each session. It seemed that very short bursts of powerful movements, rather than long-houred sessions at the gym, were actually the secret to improving insulin sensitivity and ultimately reversing type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. But then, as if this wasn't enough, we discovered even more good news. Because if you think you have to bust your hump for 60 seconds, you're wrong. In fact, the intensity of the movements and the results you achieve depend on your own personal fitness levels. So while dramatic blood glucose lowering results can be achieved by running or sprint cycling for a healthy individual, the same results could be achieved through something as simple as a brisk walk or jogging on spot for an individual with type 2 diabetes. And to prove this, during a study at the School of Life Sciences at Heriot-Watt University, researchers found that despite reducing the level of exertion in the training group, insulin sensitivity still increased by a massive 28%. There was absolutely no doubt in our mind that short bursts of HIIT movements were the secret to regulating insulin sensitivity, reversing type 2 diabetes and prediabetes, and transforming the health and life expectancy of hundreds of millions of people around the world. We knew everything we needed to know. We had the skills and knowledge to act. So from that moment, my team of experienced scientists, medical researchers, and I took as much spare time as we could out of our busy medical schedules and commitments to devise and perfect a program based on all our knowledge and the research that was right before us. A program specifically formulated for those with diabetes that would naturally kickstart the pancreas, lower blood sugar, and allow anyone, no matter the age, weight, or current condition, to effectively reverse their type 2 diabetes. Our research comprised of hundreds of different movement combinations and intensity levels, and many thousands of blood sugar readings, blood pressure readings, and other tests, and in order to create an unbeatable diabetes busting program capable of producing maximum results in the minimum amount of time. And that's exactly what happened. It meant no starving yourself. In fact, without changing your current diet whatsoever. Just simple movements to perform from just 60 seconds a day. And 12 dedicated weeks later, we're finally finished. That same week, as word spread about the completion of the system, we had a queue of eager and excited trial patients outside our office, stretching around the corner, ready to put it to the test. The results? Well, they were astonishing. Within as little as 50 days, blood sugar readings were slashed from 242 to 144, from 220 to 110, from 206 to 108, and so on and so on. Rates of hypertension, high blood pressure fell dramatically. The average weight loss in just 2 months was 13 pounds, with some subjects recording reductions in as much as 27 pounds. Some cases of neuropathy were virtually wiped out. Quality of vision improved dramatically, and energy levels went through the roof as men and women who could barely walk more than just a few yards when they began the trial suddenly began to transform before our very eyes, reclaiming their youthful vitality, health, and zest for life in a matter of weeks, and with no more than just a few 60-second bursts of movements a day. And here's an email I received from one of our trial patients, Douglas McAllister, from Schlegwig, Iowa, who wrote,
Hello, my name is Douglas, a trial patient of the Diabetes 60 system. Before starting, my glucose levels were off the charts at 236 and my meds were failing to keep my symptoms under control. At 68 years of age and with high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes and kidney problems, I felt like the Grim Reaper was getting closer. Fortunately, I managed to secure a spot on the trial, and within less than a few weeks, I could already feel the difference. By the end of the trial period, my blood glucose level had fallen by nearly 100 points, and my kidney function improved significantly, and my blood pressure returned to levels close to those I hadn't seen since my 40s. My overall health has improved so much, I literally can't quite believe what's happened. I really thank you for this opportunity, and hope you get this system out to more diabetics like me. Best, Douglas McAllister.
After the patient trials ended, and after having finally discovered the holy grail of diabetes treatments, we knew we couldn't keep it to ourselves. We decided to publish our easy-to-follow, step-by-step system online for each and every diabetes sufferer to access. A program that has since been hailed as the #1 breakthrough in diabetes treatment in the last 100 years. And we called it the Diabetes 60 system, 60 seconds a day to becoming diabetes-free. The Diabetes 60 system is the world's first and only program that has been scientifically proven time and time again to reverse type 2 diabetes and prediabetes 100% naturally and in as little as 50 days. Instead of drugs which merely paper over the cracks and do nothing to fix the underlying problem, this system works by attacking diabetes at the source, insulin resistance, dramatically improving insulin sensitivity and lowering blood sugar levels in the process completely and naturally and crucially permanently. The program requires as little as 60 seconds of activity a day and is clinically proven to reduce blood pressure, burn fat, improve circulation and cardiovascular function, significantly boosting overall health and well-being in the process, and reducing the risk of developing debilitating health conditions such as heart disease, kidney failure, neuropathy, blindness, lower limb amputation, and more. And the most amazing thing is you can achieve these results from the comfort of your own home without having to spend hours working out and without having to spend a single penny on gym memberships or exercise equipment. So what exactly will you receive in the Diabetes 60 system? When we designed the system, we made sure that anyone from the very start will understand and be able to know exactly what to do. So with that in mind, you will receive the information-packed Diabetes 60 System Guide. Here you will find not only what diabetes reversing movements you will perform, step-by-step instructions on how to perform them correctly, the research and studies that prove how and why they work, but also helpful tips and tricks and a wealth of knowledge about diabetes itself. Next, you will receive the crucial Diabetes System Protocol, which is the 8-week program you will need to follow to achieve the same results as thousands before you. This protocol comes week by week and is designed specifically for diabetics by our qualified team backed by real-world successes. Each day, you are guided exactly which movements to perform, for how long, and for how many times. But of course, we understand that it's not always easy to look at a diagram or an explanation of an exercise or movement and then mimic it perfectly, which is why we have taken the time to also include the exclusive Diabetes 60 System video collection. All 25 of the diabetes reversing movements contained within the program come with an easy-to-follow and informative video demonstration performed by a qualified instructor. So you can simply press play and watch the instructor take you by the hand to ensure that you get it right. If you need more time, you can hit pause on the video and then return to the movements at your own convenience. And these videos can be assessed on your computer, laptop, cell phone, or tablet, meaning you can perform these movements wherever you are and at any time of day. And again, don't worry if the thought of movements scare you or because you might break out in a cold sweat to think of exercise. This is so easy that even users of this system who are 70, 80, even 100 years old with zero flexibility and zero experience have been following and enjoying the dramatic effects of this protocol without any problems at all. It doesn't matter if you're overweight or underweight, your strength or fitness levels. What's more, the program starts off slowly with quick and simple movements to get you moving and get the blood flowing. And then as your body adapts and improves with each day, the intensity gradually increases to match your progress until you start to feel and see the benefits both inside and outside. Your blood pressure will start to normalize, you will start to feel more energetic, you will be losing weight, and most importantly, you will be rapidly improving your insulin sensitivity, effectively reversing your type 2 diabetes. Plus, the program is incredibly flexible, allowing you to move at your own pace. So no matter what your physical capabilities are, you'll be able to find the perfect movements to perform and then gradually build up as you go. And as I've said, the program already has produced spectacular results for thousands of people across the world. In fact, let's quickly look at another email we received only yesterday from a former diabetic patient, Greg Chapman from Columbus, Ohio. Here's what he had to say about the Diabetes 60 system.
Hi, I just wanted to message you to say thank you so much for everything you've done in putting this system together. As you know, I've been on a whole bunch of diabetes meds during the last 10 years, and despite this, my symptoms were getting worse year on year. My weight had ballooned, and in that time, I'd started to develop painful neuropathy and high blood pressure and lots of other painful and unpleasant health conditions. Within weeks of following your program, my blood sugar fell from 235 to nearly 138, and I lost close to 18 pounds. My blood pressure has come down, and I have so much more energy. Again, I just want to thank you so much for everything you've done for me and my family. Greg Chapman.
Okay, so the next question you're probably asking yourself is, how much will it cost to get my hands on this system? Well, looking at the kind of success stories you've just seen and knowing that this program has already worked for 100% of my patients and thousands around the world, I'm sure you can understand why we originally planned to charge $597 for this program. And when you think that type 2 diabetics will be expected to spend an average of $85,500 to treat the condition and its complications over the course of their lifetime, I'm sure you can see just how much of a drop in the ocean $597 really is, especially when it gives you the chance to actually reverse your type 2 diabetes and reclaim your health within as little as 50 days. But the truth is, we didn't create this program to line our pockets. That wasn't our motivation at all. My team and I are not under the control of a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical company, so it's not about making money for us. Instead, we actually created this program to help people. We stand by our Hippocratic oath that demands we put the health of our patients above all, and that means money too. So with that in mind, we're not going to ask you for $597 or even $200 for that matter. And you can be sure we're not even going to ask you for $100 or even half of that. The fact is, all we are trying to do here is cover the costs of creating this website and keeping it running for as long as possible. We would feel like we have let ourselves down if even one diabetic sufferer wasn't able to afford this system and put this incredible protocol into work for themselves. Which is why if you act now and you act on this very moment, you're getting the entire Diabetes 60 system for a one-time payment of just $39. That's it, just $39. That's less than a meal out at a restaurant or a couple of tickets to a cinema. Yet for the exact same price, we are giving you the chance to reverse your type 2 diabetes or prediabetes in as little as 50 days from just 60 seconds of effort per day. And all you need to do to lock in this special limited time pricing is hit the order button below this video. But that's not all. You see, we want you to have this system and experience the incredible results for yourself, and we don't want price to be a factor in your decision. So if you're a little worried about putting down $39, you don't need to be, because we're going to let you test out the entire system completely risk-free for a full 60 days. And that's more than the entire length of the program. And if you're not 100% happy with the incredible results you will get, all you need to do is email us at the address provided in the members area, and we will refund every cent of your investment with no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Take advantage of this special offer and press order now below. The fact is, my team and I want to help as many people possible to benefit from this program, because we've seen time and time again with our own eyes just how powerful and transformative it really is. This is an investment not only for your health, but also an investment for the peace of mind of you, your family, and your friends. This is you finally being able to look at loved ones in the eye and tell them that you're going to be okay. This is you finally being able to say yes. Yes to your children's or grandchildren's graduation. Yes to birthdays. Yes to weddings. Yes to a healthy future. To sit at the end of the table, your family smiling back at you, not smiling in fear, pity, or worry, but just pure smiling of joy, relaxed and in peace with the knowledge that you are safe, you are healthy, and you will be there for years to come. This does not have to be just a dream, but a certain and proven reality if you take this opportunity in front of you. If you say yes and take the first step by hitting order now below. And to prove just how much we want to help you reverse your type 2 diabetes, reclaim your health, and add years to your life, we're going to sweeten the deal even further by giving you 2 completely free bonuses alongside the entire Diabetes 60 system. As a doctor who's worked with diabetes for over 12 years, I know how important a role diet plays when it comes to controlling and reversing the effects of diabetes. So we're also going to include the Diabetes 60 System recipe collection absolutely free. Although the Diabetes 60 System is deliberately a non-diet related program, we believe this is the ultimate counterpart to the program. This recipe collection includes 500 delicious and nutritious diabetic-friendly recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so you don't have to think about what you're going to eat for the next 50 days. These recipes are packed full of powerful and 100% natural ingredients that have been clinically proven to dramatically lower blood sugar levels and improve diabetic symptoms. To give you an example, one of the ingredients contained within our recipe guide was recently found to decrease fasting blood sugar levels by an average of 25%. And that wasn't all. Triglycerides were reduced by 30%, while cholesterol levels, otherwise known as LDL or bad cholesterol, fell a remarkable 30%. Other recipes include a completely natural and delicious food, which according to a 4-week clinical trial published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, significantly reduced blood glucose levels among patients with type 2 diabetes. While another study published in an agricultural research magazine found that consuming just 1 gram per day of a very common household spice found in many of the recipes can increase insulin sensitivity and help manage or reverse type 2 diabetes. You'll even find more ingredients with equally spectacular blood sugar lowering effects, all wrapped up in a series of delicious and easy to prepare meals that you can start cooking in just a few minutes from now. So imagine the results you'll get when you consume these alongside the Diabetes 60 system. But that's not all we're going to give you. As I said, we want to make absolutely sure that you have everything you need to start reversing your diabetes so you can reclaim your health and vitality within the next 50 days. So we're also going to include another special bonus called the Diabetes 60 System Health Tracker. And once again, it's completely free. This sophisticated yet easy to use software tool is exclusive to members of the Diabetes 60 system and will enable you to keep track of your progress as you move through the program. All you need to do is install the software on your computer, and then each day you can input your weight, your blood sugar readings, blood pressure readings, and any other measurements you want to track. And the software will log all of the data, produce a chart for each measurement detailing your improvements. And believe me, when you start seeing the line on your blood sugar, blood pressure, or weight chart visibly fall, you'll have all the motivation you need to continue with the program. These 2 bonuses are valued at a combined total of $57 on their own, yet you're getting them both absolutely free when you order the Diabetes 60 system right this second. So you know what to do. Press order now below this video to get full access to the entire Diabetes 60 system and the 2 exclusive free bonuses now. So just to remind you, for a one-time payment of only $39, you're getting the entire Diabetes 60 system, which includes all of the following: the Diabetes 60 System Guide, the Diabetes 60 System 8-week protocol, the Diabetes 60 System video collection, and your 2 free bonuses for signing up now: the Diabetes 60 System recipe collection and the Diabetes 60 System Health Tracker. And all you need to do is hit the Order Now button below to get started. You will then be asked to enter your details using our safe and secure 256-bit encryption system, the same exact technology used by the world's largest banks. Once you've placed your order, you will then immediately be redirected to our private members area, allowing you to download the entire system straight to your PC, Mac, laptop, cell phone, or tablet. And you will also receive 24/7 access to our support team, who will be on hand to answer any questions you might have. You can access the exclusive members area and the entire system 24 hours a day on a computer, tablet, or cell phone. Remember, this is the world's first and only 100% natural diabetes treatment program, scientifically proven to dramatically lower blood sugar levels, improve insulin sensitivity, and effectively reverse type 2 diabetes and prediabetes at the source. And it can be yours in less than 2 minutes from now. Finally, there's a real alternative to expensive, side effect-ridden medication that does nothing more than keep you spinning on the never-ending diabetes treadmill, hurtling faster and faster towards an earlier grave. But let me get something clear here. I'm not advising you to stop taking your medication. This treatment is intended to be followed alongside your medication. But the fact is, thanks to this pioneering treatment program, in as little as 50 days from now, you will no longer need to waste thousands of dollars a year on insulin injections, hospital visits, medications, and diabetes-related medical equipment that keeps you trapped in a never-ending cycle of drug dependency. You will no longer need to build every day of your life around when you have your next injection, take your next blood sugar reading, or visit your doctor. You will no longer need to deny yourself your favorite foods and live out the rest of your life chomping away miserably on bland and tasteless diabetic diets. You know as well as I do, that's no way to live. But the good news is, it simply doesn't have to be that way anymore. There is a way out, but you need to stop focusing on treating the symptoms of diabetes and instead start fixing the root cause. Unless you make the decision to start doing that, you will never be free from diabetes. You will never be free from the constant worry and fear of losing a leg or foot, going blind, suffering agonizing neuropathic pain, a fatal heart attack, or a debilitating stroke that could leave you unable to speak or move or function. You will never be free from the very real possibility you could end up leaving this earth, your family, your loved ones, for years, possibly decades sooner than you should. So my question is this: is that really a risk you want to take when right in front of you right now stands a safe, 100% natural and scientifically proven way to reverse your diabetes? Is your health and well-being not worth $39? I think it is. And I think your family would agree with me. So why wait for a potentially life-threatening health condition to strike you down before you make the decision to take action and try something different? Make the right decision now for both yourself and your family. Do it now. Because remember, every 7 seconds, diabetes takes another life. Which means while you've been watching this presentation, 385 people have died because of this terrible disease. Don't let yourself become another name tag on the diabetes death list. Don't wait until it's too late before you decide to take action and try something different. Hit the Order Now button below. Take advantage of this 60-day risk-free trial and start reversing your diabetes from just 60 seconds a day. My name is Dr. Ryan Shelton, and I look forward to hearing your success story very soon.